Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be checking out the newest episode of Oshi, episode 7 of season 3. I've been enjoying this season so much so far. The production of this anime is always so incredible, but every aspect of it is such a joy to be able to watch. I really appreciated the sound design and OST last episode, and also the directing to show the breakdowns and everything of the characters works so well. And just more of a story note, I was so happy for Kana last week that she was able to essentially come to terms with everything and move on herself and didn't require Aqua. Because that's always a big pet peeve of mine when every character revolves around the MC, especially when it's one of the main female characters in the show and we have a male MC. It always is a little bit disheartening to see them just revolve around that character. So I really loved Kana essentially coming to terms and getting ready to move on by herself. It was really cool to see. But I don't want to waste too much more time and hop right into this episode. If you're new to my channel, this is more of a watch along than a straight up reaction. So if you'd like the audio and or full video without me blocking the screen like this, you can sync up with my copy. But I will give us a countdown. We can get right into this episode. Just grab my timer. Alright, 3, 2, 1, start. Oh, Crunchyroll, don't be buffery today. God, I fucking love this opening so much. It's so funny. I swear, every week, all of my reactions while I'm watching the opening of any show right now, I'm just glazing the hell out of the opening. But something about this season, at least all of the shows I'm watching, they absolutely nailed the openings. But this season in general has been so stacked for anime. Um, I was not expecting some of these shows to go as hard personally for me. Because, I like this show. I like Hell's Paradise. But they were never, super, super high up there. But these seasons are really upping the ante for just, everything about these shows. So, I've been so happy with this season of anime. Yeah, man. Yeah, such a banger. And it's not even just the song, the visuals and everything. As I've said, I've always loved this aesthetic type of openings like this. Alright, into the episode we go. Strawberry Productions, Saito, is that dude? Alright. What do you got to say? Stating the obvious? Tell him. Yeah, it was definitely a bit dangerous to go there. Respectable. That's good. That's fair enough. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more gross aspects of the industry. God, I'm so happy. I was a little bit worried that some of either the staff or someone was gonna be really mad at her, but I'm happy with these characters. Oh, interesting. Was maybe the so the girl that set Connor up wasn't actually trying to set up her. She was trying to set up the director, maybe? Yeah. Are you realizing? That bitch? Which apparently that character wasn't in the manga, is what I heard from one of the people commenting last week. Fucking bunch of assholes. It's essentially kind of like a blackmail situation. Job, ma'am. God. I knew I liked Memcho for a reason. God, her voice actor's good. What are you thinking about? Are you focusing on your goal at the moment, or getting a little bit of sidetracked in your mind? God, they're very both in their own heads at the moment. Interesting. It's almost like she's wavering. She has a dark star in one eye, but a little bit brighter in one. Interesting. So maybe this kind of added a little bit of conflict into her mind. What are you up to now? And back to the two dark stars. How so? Give them a bigger story? I feel like a scapegoat is the easiest, or my mind went to immediately. What are you playing at, Aqua? I imagine you probably wouldn't want to go for that. So, gives you good clicks for your shit. That that shouldn't matter. She's still a child, essentially. Hence why child stars always get so fucked up. Yeah, I'm sure it's implied, though. When you try and paint that picture, it becomes very hard for someone reading an article or something to not make the worst of some assumptions about people. I don't think he would be in this business if it, yeah, exactly. It does, but, I'm a reporter, so. Yeah, but sometimes shit just shouldn't need a supply. 20 to 30 writers. So a bit like freelance type of work. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of them who enjoy the shit out of it. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be taking a sick joy in it, at the very least. So you maybe have a better chance with him. Oh, yeah, he's doing what my thought was a scapegoat. Yeah, the sound effects and the way they show the mental state of the characters is so impressive. What kind of scapegoat is he trying to give them, though? Is it going to be about it directly himself? Something about I I don't know what would be his go-to. What a That was an incredible directing shot. Oh wait, what was the scapegoat for us? Oh, so it is about I I wonder how Ruby's gonna feel about this. So maybe she was not part of it. For a second there, I thought maybe it was a plan they made together. Oh, like the wind chime effect is really cool. This might deepen her dark stars. Very much so. She was wavering, and this might have pushed her to the other side. I wonder. This also might work as kind of baiting out. Oh, I forget what his name is. The dad, though. But that's just like my opinion, man. Chainsaw. That this is gonna spread a lot. I read the wiki. I know what I'm talking about. Fuck you. God, sometimes I hate the internet and everyone is making their own assumptions about everything. Be a little bit disappointed with that. God. On the case again. I'm interested to know how much of it is furthering his plan versus just helping with Kana. I'm getting a really bad feeling all of a sudden. She about to get pushed down these stairs. The earrings. I don't think the dad had earrings on. Oh! Coming in clutch. I was getting really worried where the direction of the story was going. I feel like that's bait and switch for something else now, though. I was feeling like she. Oh god, that face. Music. That is kind of fucked up, to be honest. We didn't know that, did we? I don't remember that being a plot point at all. Yeah, that does kind of throw it for a fairly big loop. I really like the soundtrack in the back. That's kind of what I was thinking when I first saw the bouquet of flowers. With a knife? I don't know if I believe her, to be honest. Facial expressions in this anime are so well done. No, it's not like he hates you, but sorry for not much reaction. It is a slippery slope going like this, especially alone. Oh, it's like all she, yeah, all she wanted. I, and we're back with this version of Aqua. Very well done episode. Man, I feel so bad for her. But honestly, probably for the best. But now I'm both worried about her and Aqua quite a bit. I feel like, well, cutting her off might not have been entirely a mistake in every way. Going it solo like this is gonna be very sketchy. And I can feel like, as you said, could lead to a lot of unhappy moments. I really hope someone will be able to get through to him. I also do believe that, like, the time we spent with Aqua before this shift back in personality, because I've been expecting this all season, I'm pretty sure it happened earlier in the manga, but I really like how they set up his shift back into it. It felt more natural than just like a very sudden shift. I feel like this is a good moment for him to go back to men. And now they're both had kind of a shift. I feel like Ruby was kind of wavering between like her dark star eyes and whatnot, as we saw there. And then with the announcement that Aqua put out, I feel like that set her really hard focus back on like the revenge type path and really brought up like those feelings out of her again. And then Aqua, honestly, he's been going through it the last few episodes. Very, very sad for her though. Like that was all she cared about him so much, and she just wanted to save him. And getting completely shut out like that is a really hard feeling from anyone, especially someone who seemingly she loves quite a lot. Like she is a ride or die like I've barely ever seen before. Um, but I do think she was putting herself in a lot of danger. Um, the way she was going about it, very like detective esque. And like she was essentially going to confront the main villain. I was getting such a worrisome feeling, especially when that dude that went like pushed her down like came by. I was like, I could feel a shift in the story, and I was like, this show would be so much darker if this goes in. They could have went in a very dark path with either her confronting him and getting killed. For a second, honestly, when she was falling down those stairs before Aqua came, I thought she was gonna end up in like a coma or the hospital at least or something. So I'm glad that didn't happen at the very least. But instead of a more physical type of harm, she had quite the um, mental like pain and suffering through that whole situation. I hope she, like Kana, um, is able to pick herself up and bring herself to a happier place. I feel like she's gonna be having a bit of a rough time, especially with how devoted she was to this. Like the fact that she was essentially willing to throw her life away for him is like that's not something you do for just anyone in your life. But yeah, overall, really great episode. I think they've been killing it with this season. I'd love to know manga readers' thoughts on this episode because I do know that there was like a couple changes. I don't like super in depth know like everything because I've never read this manga before. But as an anime only, this season is could potentially be my favorite season of this show. I really enjoyed last season, but I feel like this season is getting me much more invested in the revenge aspect of the story, while still keeping a really cool view on the entertainment industry. Where like every episode, I feel like I'm learning some new things, or at least able to like put my thoughts out about certain things in the industry, and it's just such a fun show in that aspect. Even though it can be very dark, engaging in a story that's willing to tackle a little bit of darker subjects and very real subjects. Like, as ridiculous in some aspects this show is, like with the reincarnation aspect and everything, there is some really good heart to this story that I feel like is something that keeps me invested more than I was expecting. Although, with how much I've been enjoying this season, I'm getting more and more worried about the manga ending because I hope it's just a case where manga readers just weren't a fan of the ending, but when it finally gets to adapt it into an anime format, it just lands a little bit better because I'm really starting to like all these characters and like even like Aqua, who was probably I don't know about season two. I feel like he was one of the weaker characters in the series, in my opinion. But this season especially has given me a new perspective on his character. I think getting to see him happy before going back into the revenge is really important. So I'm glad that, from what I understand, they extended that in the anime. And I think him finding out that she was essentially putting herself in danger is a good reason for him to go back all into it. Um, I don't know what exactly was like the cause and effect, if it was like after his breakdown a few episodes or what. that changed his mind, but I think this is a better way. And I love how they showed both Aqua and Ruby kind of wavering in their personalities, and then something that happens very suddenly can drastically change like what you're feeling at that moment, and it kind of puts you on course into a much darker path, especially when we're talking about things like revenge. Yeah, fantastic episode. Really enjoyed it. I'm potentially going to be streaming in like an hour, a couple hours or so today, playing some anime games. So if you care about checking out some of my other content, that is potentially something that is upcoming. But I will catch you guys all later, and peace.